Hello, it's Karen Burniston here with an assembly video for one of our die sets. This is die number 1209, the Label Charm pop-up, and you can check out all of our die designs at karenburniston.com. The Label Charm pop-up is going to be one of those great generic, versatile, easy to assemble dies that just has no theme, so you can decorate it however you like. Cute little charm dangling in the opening there, and you get double duty decoration because whatever's on the front pivots to become the inside decoration as well. So for the assembly video, I thought I would show how I made the card that's on the packaging, and I just swapped out some of the colors and embellishments to make it a little different. So any card that measures between 5 and 6 inches wide in the closed position will work with a Label Charm pop-up, and a landscape A2 is absolutely perfect for it. So this is a piece of cardstock that's 11 inches long by 4 1/4 inches tall and then scored in the middle for folding. And then to that I just added some panels of pattern paper, just a pretty paper I found in my stash. So this is the die that cuts the pivoting label, and it does have these little nubs at the top and the bottom for lining up with your ruler or your guide, however you want to measure over to the center of your card. Now you can use a ruler to find the center, or if you're just using common card sizes, you could create some little guides that you would keep with your die set. So to find the center of a 5x7 portrait or an A2 landscape or a mini slimline. So you just need those measurements. So for an A2 landscape, I need to be 2 3/4 inch off of the fold. Okay, so then I just make sure that those little nubs, top and bottom, are right on the edge of my template. I can use a temporary tape to tape that down and then remove the template. And notice I chose my vertical position to be a little bit higher than center. So you can definitely choose where up and down you place it. It just needs to be with those nubs between 2 1/2 and 3 inches off of the fold. Okay, before running this through my die cutting machine, I want to make sure I open the card up so that I'm only cutting through the front layer of the card. Now you can use any die cutting machine that can accommodate a wafer thin die, and today I'm using my Spellbinders Platinum 6. Okay, so just removing the die, and there are a couple of pieces that are going to fall out. Those are not needed. And then now I have that pivoting label cut into the card. So this label is going to pivot around to the other side as the card opens. And then what's actually going to pull that label around so that it pivots is going to be the center label. So in the die set, there is the label that has the tab attached. So that's going to attach right here and become the center label, and then I'll cut it again for the third label. The center label can either be cut solid or you can nest in the oval die to create a frame, and that's how you can dangle a little charm in that pop-up label. I do want to make a frame, so I'm going to nest the two dies together. Now on my bigger die, I have the tab oriented to the left, and then on the smaller die, I have the little hole oriented at the top. Then I just make sure I have an even border and tape those together temporarily. And then I'm going to mark through the hole to give myself a template for where I need to punch the hole to dangle my charm. And then I'm just going to roll that through. Okay, so that will give me two pieces. It will give me my frame that has tab on the left, and notice that score line in it. That is actually part of the smaller die. It scores on the outside of the oval so that when you're making frames, you get that decorative score line. And then because I have marked the location of my hole using the die as a template, then I can just pierce a hole to be able to dangle the charm. For my third label, I'm using the tabbed label again, but this time without anything nested inside so that it will be solid. Okay, now before I start assembling this, I'd like to go ahead and put together the oval charm that I'm going to dangle in the center. I cut 2 of the oval charms out of pink and then 2 of the smaller oval out of white, and I'm going to actually glue those back to back so that it's pretty on both sides even if it spins around. A great tip that I learned in our Karen Burniston Pop-Up Peeps Facebook group is how to use clear packing tape over the top of cardstock when you just need to make an item shiny but you don't have mirror cardstock in that color. So for the blue, I've added packing tape, and then I'm going to die cut the larger of the scribble hearts to go in my center oval charm, and I'll just do that twice. So just emptying out the die after die cutting, you can see how cool that shiny heart is. So I'm just going to take my oval charm, cover it with a strong adhesive, and glue it back to back with the other one so that both sides are the pretty side. Then I'm going to embellish both sides with a small oval and a heart. So this is ready now to attach to the frame. And I can do that with a metal jump ring. That's what I did on the packaging sample. So those are just metal jump rings that you get in the jewelry aisle of any major craft store. Or I can tie it on with twine. So I'm just going to use twine today. Mine is 4-ply baker's twine, so I think I'm just going to separate that and make it just a 2-ply. And then if you have a needle threader or a dental flosser, those work great for twine, or you can just put some glue out on the end and that'll stiffen up the end of the twine and make it like a needle tip that makes it easy to get through both the hole that is on the frame and then the hole at the top of the oval charm. And I just tied a knot in it, leaving a little bit of slack so that it will dangle, and then tied it into a bow. And then just trimming off the ends of the twine, and I have my finished center label with dangling charm. So I have my pivoting label turned to the blue side, and then I'm going to attach that tab underneath that label on the left side. So if I turn it back to the closed position, I can actually do this in the closed position by just laying the frame over the top of the other label and attaching just the tab. So I've attached glue to the front of the tab, fold it under, line it up with the label on the left hand side, and notice that right now that label is in the closed position, which means that I can see all the pattern paper on the inside. So the blue side is back to the front again. And then I can just take my time and make sure that that label lines up absolutely perfectly with the one below, and I'm only attaching that tab on the left side. So what will happen is as the card opens, it'll pull that pivoting label around, just like this. With my third label, I'm going to fold the tab and then add the adhesive on the top. And then this one's going to attach to the right side only to the frame and underneath the frame. And then I can fold it down over the top of the stack to make sure that I have good placement. So I want everything to line up in the closed position. But now what I've got is a line of 3 labels. So the pink one, and then the frame, and then the pivoting one. All right, it is the stacked position where everything lines up perfectly that I want to put this in while I add glue all over the back of my final label. And then I can just keep everything flat while I carefully close the card against that exposed adhesive. And then that way I know that I have the perfect lined up location for the closed position, so that when the card is closed, I don't see the inner labels. The frame and the charm work great as decorator pieces too. So you can cut them and then just remove the tab, and it will fit perfectly, say, on this pivoting label as a decorative frame. Same thing with the oval charm. You can cut off the little charm hole at the top, and then that's just a decorative oval that will fit down in the middle. One thing about our pop-up dies is they always come with so many great decorator pieces, and those can be used independently of the pop-ups. So with this set, you have a lot of great labels and ovals. In the inspiration card, I'd used our Tiny Gnomes set and assembled her and had her holding one of the scribble hearts from the set. This time I decided to use the owl from our feathered animal set, but again had the owl holding that scribble heart. There's also a scribble flower in the set, so I've cut that a few times and just added enamel dots to the centers. And then the smallest label in the bottom right corner along with one of the hearts, that gives me a place to sign the card. For a greeting, I am going to use our new word set 15, just because, and you can see there's lots of different options that you can choose with that set. I'm going to do just a note. The word just in that set includes a shadow, so I will glue those two together. And then when I place them, I just want to make sure that I choose a spot where I don't create any kind of catch points. And again, what's really great about this set is that double duty decoration. So that decorating that I'm doing for that first label is going to work for the inside of the card and will pivot around and become the front of the card when the card is closed. And then for the front of the card, I'm just going to follow the inspiration card with a strip of the same pattern paper from the inside, and then just a mixture of the scribble hearts and the scribble flower. And then back to the inside, I realized that I missed one little flower that I had attached to the frame on my inspiration card, so I put one on my new card as well. So that is my finished landscape A2. So an A2 envelope is all I would need. 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 in the closed position. It'll mail easily for a single stamp. The label charm pop-up is just such a great foundation die because it is versatile and generic, plus very easy to assemble. And you have options for how you combine the pieces, so it doesn't always look the same. And you're choosing your card size. So here's a Halloween version where I did a mini slimline 3.5 by 6 inches and put pattern plates in the open frames for the first two. I love to end assembly videos with inspiration from our talented design team. Karen Aiken chose a 5.5-inch square card for this label charm, and I love the iridescent paper and that cute little bow on the skeleton. And then another great card by Karen Aiken, this one Just Saying Hi. And you'll notice on her card she's got that solid label in the middle, so you do not have to cut it as a frame. Here's a cute Halloween mini slimline by Lois Bach, using some of our Halloween dies. And then Sandy Diller, also with a mini slimline, Love You Sew. Great little pun using our new sewing charms with the label charm pop-up. This is a great foundation die for any masculine cards you might need to make. So here's one by Lois with our tool charms. And any of our charm sets are going to dangle in that opening just perfectly. Lois shows the cruise charms used here. Maybe you'd like to embellish your label charm pop-up with your favorite stamps. So here's a great card by Frances Byrne. I love the colors on this one by Karen Aiken, wishing you a sweet new year using our mini alphabet and the flutter charms. And I love this entire scene that Frances created using the label charm pop-up and our space charms. Another card by Frances, and again showing how the label charm pop-up makes a great foundational die for your favorite stamps. Here's a card by Suzanne in a very beautiful, classy gray and white color scheme. A great little card by Sue Small Kreider, Just a Hello. I love all the stitching details. A beautiful card by Nikki, Just Saying Hi, and I love all the floral details in those rhinestones around the opening. And I can hardly wait for the fall weather, and this one definitely puts me in the mood for it. Love this card by Lois Bach, Happy Fall. And another card by Lois, Just Because, Clever Clever. And another card by Lois, What's New, with our sewing charms. The label charm pop-up is available now at a lot of your favorite local and online retailers, as well as from our website, KarenBurniston.com. Thanks for watching. If you click on the website link, you'll go to KarenBurniston.com, where you can purchase these dies as well as find links to our other social media accounts. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel and check out some of my other videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.